Good evening, everybody. We're going to be starting here in just a few moments, and we're just going to jump right in it tonight. Hope you had a good day today. Just finished wrapping up a live I just did over on mybondtube.com. I hope you get to check it out. If you want to know the details of it all, just check our community page, and I pretty much tell you what we're talking about over there. So we're going to start doing more things on those topics over there on BondTube, more over there, and then less here on YouTube. So just keep an eye on that. And but yeah, it's upload. The video is actually uploading now. So if you go there now, you're not going to see it, but give it about maybe another, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, and you'll see it. Okay. All right. So we're just going to give people a few more moments to get on board here, and then we're going to go ahead and jump in and get started. Okay. We'll do another, I'll just say like a minute and change, and we'll get started. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for tuning in. So glad that you guys can join us. As I was just saying earlier, I just finished wrapping up a live I just did over there on mybondtube.com, where we were actually taking a look at a bit of history there. And I'll tell you, we're going head on. We're going head on with the lies, family. You know, we can say all day that we're walking in the truth and we stand for truth and all of that. But I'm telling you, a lot of people who are saying that really don't want truth. That's what I'm finding out, because the more and more I start looking at this stuff and talking about it, it's like people like, well, you know what? Let me dip up and out of here, because I can't handle that. You ain't repeating the lies that I'm used to, that I like to hear. So I got to get out of here. Well, go. Because that's not what we're going to do here, because doggone it, over 400 years we have been lied to, and I'm not about to lower the standard and just allow people who look like me to continue to lie. No, we're going to call all of it out. We're going to be respectful, but we're going to call it out for what it is. But at the same time, we're not going to leave you there. We're going to give you the opportunity for you to research this stuff for yourself. point to you to all, and we're not going to show you a little snippet, one little paragraph. We're going to look at the whole thing. That's why a lot of people, they zap out as soon as we start going, turning. Oh, he going to read the whole page. Oh, I ain't got time for that. Oh, we're going to read all of it so that we can get context, right? So we can know what we're standing on, right? So yeah, so check that out. Give it about another 15, maybe 20 minutes. It's already uploaded. It's processing now over on mybondtube.com. And then you can check it out. Go to the community page here on YouTube, and I'll update it after this broadcast with the link so that you can, check it out on your own time. All right. Earlier today, I did a short. I'll just show it to you real quick, and then we're going to dive in to what we're going to talk about this evening. Let me see here. Let me go to my shorts page, and I'll bring up the short. Let's see. Where's my thing? Okay, here we go. Shorts. Where are you? All right, here we go. I'm going to bring it up. It's a coming. Here it is right here. All right. Here it is. So I'm going to play this first, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. Just a tiny, tiny bit. Okay, here we go. Hey, brothers, check this out. This is our Max Heavy Twist copper bracelet. We only have 4 of these. When I tell you this thing is heavy, and I absolutely love it. If you take a look right here, this gives you an idea. If you can just kind of take a look at that, I mean, the weight is there. And this is in comparison to the regular copper twist bracelet that we have. You can see the side-by-side comparison. Both are very beautiful, but if you're looking for something more on the heavy side, this is the one. We only have 4 of these in stock. Check it out on sambatree.com. I tell you, we have been constantly coming across some suppliers on different things, and then we test we tested here first, and then we tested with y'all and see if you like it or not. So that one I actually have on right now. That's it right there. Now this one is heavy. It's heavy. Let me see if I can. This joint is heavy, man. Hold on. Let me take it off. I'm trying to see if I can, if you can get an idea. I'll show it to you again first, what it looks like here. Let me get on there. So that's what it looks like right there. And I got to clean that. Anyway, that's what it looks like right there up close. And then you hear that? That thing heavy, ain't it? That thing is heavy. And so, brothers, if you like wearing, some nice, like a jewelry like that, I know some brothers I know for me sometimes I just, I don't like being too flashy. I really don't. But every now and then I like my copper or whatever I like to put on here, and I put that on there. So yeah, because we have that small one, but this one is the max. This is the max right here, Jack. So if you like that, you can head on over to our Samba Tree page, which right now we are still having that promo that's going on right now, but we just added it here. And we'll see how this goes. We only have a limited amount here. We only have 4 available. So if you're looking in, wanting to get something, nice piece of jewelry, for your husband, here's something you can check out for sure. It's right over there. And then we got all other different pieces of jewelry and stuff that we sell, along with a lot of other things too. Like I said, again, we have the promo that's still going on right now. It's 40% off in the garden section. It's 40% off in the tea section. It's 25% off in the body section. Jewelry up to 70% off, and head wraps 50% off. Got a lot of stuff, family. The detergent. People are already buying their second orders, putting their more orders in for this detergent. So we're so glad of the feedback that we're getting from this. And I told you, we're very committed in trying to provide some solutions, not just talking about what these companies ain't doing and what they ain't providing. We the company, we're going to be the company. We're going to be the solution. We're going to bring it, on, here. And then, like I said, there's other people that do it too, but we're going to do our part here as well. Again, the website is sambatree.com. All right. All right. So today we're going to get into what we're going to do is we're going to dive into, and big shout out, of course, everybody in the, in the chat. So glad that you guys can join us here this evening. We're going to talk about, there's actually two things going on right now. I'm not going to do no blow by blow details of this movie that we're talking about, Leaving the World Behind. I'm not going to do that because we don't need to. You know, this is stuff that has been talked about in great detail on this platform years ago. Okay. A lot of stuff that you'll find in the movie was actually stuff that they rehearsed some time ago. I forgot which world body it was, World Economic Forum, one of them too. You know, and they rehearsed these things, and I guess they looked at it and say, oh, well, let's just make it into a movie, and that they did. So we're going to, but there's another angle to this that I do want to talk about briefly. And it's a trend that I'm seeing, and it's something that I think, honestly, after watching the movie last night, my wife and I, we sat down and looked at it. I told her, I said, hon, our people ain't ready. Our people aren't ready. So if you are a person that don't necessarily like heart-to-heart truth talking, you know, when we're talking about ourselves, then this is not going to be the broadcast for you. We're not bashing our own people, but we're going to be very truthful. So I say again, if this is something that, you know, is hard for you to take that, then this will not be the broadcast for you. It won't be, because that's the only thing I know to do is to be truthful and honest, you know, especially when it comes to these things. Okay. Of course, in love, but we're going to be truthful. Okay. So anyway, let's see, where do I want to begin with this? Okay. So as you know, this is a movie, Leave the World Behind was a movie that came out, very recently on Netflix. And in short, this movie is about basically everything that these people have been rehearsing when it comes to, you know, the coming chaos, right? So what I'm gonna do now, let me actually play for you the trailer. For those who haven't seen the movie, I have the trailer here, okay? And you can check it out there. And again, BondTube is a very resourceful place. I'm gonna leave it at that, okay? Those who know, you know. I'm just going to leave it at that. Anyway, so with that being said, I'm going to show y'all the trailer for this movie here, okay? And you can check it out. It's called Leave the World Behind. This is a trailer for it, and we'll check it out, all right? Let me go to my right browser. Let's take a listen. Let's take a watch, and then we'll discuss it just a tiny, tiny bit, okay? Let's go.
Why did you come here?
In my line of work, you have to understand the patterns that govern the world. That can help you see the future. And I knew something was coming.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
We are seeing ongoing cyber attacks across the country.
The truth is much scarier.
What is the truth?
We're gonna be okay, right?
Aren't you the one who always said, if you're not paranoid by now, it's too late?
Haven't you been picking up on what's going on out there? We've all been deserted.
Why did you come here?
Hey,
In
that's
my
it.
line of work, you have to understand the pattern.
It might have cut off there, actually. But anyway, so there you go. So you get the kind of the idea. And in a nutshell, basically, the movie's about all this chaos happens all at once. It's an invasion. The internet goes out. There's a blackout. There's an individual that gets sick in the movie. There's all kinds of things and that take place. But one of the key themes in there is that there's a focus on civil war. You know, there's this hope that civil war, there's basically this drive that civil war will take place here in the United States. Okay. I think what we saw with January the 6th, that was just the beginning of it. I think that was just a trial run and that's it. But because again, there's been way too many movies out here that has kind of, you know, pushed the narrative. But But in reality, it's just like they were pushing, just dropping out there in cartoons and videos and movies, about 9/11. And all of a sudden now, it happened, right? Well, likewise, it's the same thing. They like to kind of let people know what's in the pot, what they're getting ready for, that kind of stuff. And, is the movie engaging? Yes, it is, absolutely. But everything, it was funny, all the different things that they were saying that was going to, first of all, what I found, what's very interesting about this movie is the fact that you have a president. I don't know if I've ever seen a former president of the United States in the movie business. I've never seen that, especially putting a movie out like this. I mean, where it's kind of underscoring everything that literally nations have rehearsed would happen. For example, there's a scene in there when all the Teslas, someone hacked the Tesla network. And then all of a sudden now the Teslas are driving all over the place, that kind of stuff, right? And then they got to dodge through all of that, right? We talked about that. This is going back, 2.5 years ago, I think. All this stuff, so they have that in there. But the fact that you have a former president that is involved in his movie, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting, But anyway, so again, staying on this theme of Civil War, because in it, they kind of highlight that, not a whole lot, but just enough. They put a little thing in there. By the way, if you saw it, I'll tell you that the black teenage girl they had, I could not stand her attitude. Ooh, I couldn't get her attitude, man. Ooh. Anyway, but there was this friction between her and the white woman and all that stuff. And then, there was something that was said to the effect that, in times like this, you don't want to trust white people, that kind of thing, right? But I'm going to put a bookmark on that, and we're going to return back to that, okay? So today I'm on the internets, and I see another movie has come out. And I said, isn't this something? So anyway, let's look at that trailer right quick here. Let me see if I can pull that up. But yeah, this is another movie that has come out. This name of this movie is called Civil War. I mean, you can't get any clearer and plainer than that. But here's a trailer for another one a trailer that for this movie that's actually going to be released April the 26th. All right. So let me pull that one up. All right. Let's get this up. Here you go.
19 states have seceded.
The United States Army ramps up activity.
The White House issued warnings to the Western forces as well as the Florida Alliance.
The three-term president assures the uprising will be dealt with swiftly.
Let me know if you want to try anything on.
Are you guys aware there's like a pretty huge civil war going on all across America?
We just try to stay out. With what we see on the news, seems like it's for the best.
Citizens of America, the so-called Western forces of Texas and California have suffered a very great defeat at the hands of the United States military.
Mr. President, do you regret the use of airstrikes against American citizens? We're moving to D.C. today.
We need to go down there.
They shoot journalists on sight in the Capitol. Every instinct in me says this is death. Blooded.
Every time I survived a war zone, I thought I was sending a warning home. Don't do this. But here we are.
There's some kind of misunderstanding here. What? Well, you're American, okay?
Okay. What kind of American are you? You don't know?
The Western forces will reach the White House on July 4th.
Oh my God.
Get in the car! Get in the car! Move, move, move!
You're gonna hang back.
I'm not hanging back.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless America.
So of course, with me playing the trailer, that they love that, you know, because I'm just promoting it even more. But but anyway, but we're doing it for a reason too. You know, it's not just it's not to promote the movie, even though, like I say, inadvertently, I guess we are. But we're doing it because there's a common thread in both of these movies that I want us to particularly to focus on and to understand what's really going on here. Like I said, again, if you come here and you think we're going to do a blow by blow breakdown of that movie, Leave the World Behind, I'm not doing that, okay? Because there's tons of movies out there. I told you my favorite channels on YouTube are the ones that do the movie recaps. There's so many movies that have come out, you know, just in the last couple of years that carry the same theme. And it saves me a lot of time to watch the whole thing recapped in 10, 15 minutes. So that's typically what I do. But anyway, but the theme in both of these is civil war. Okay. And so if you haven't noticed, there has been, I'll just start off with this. Let me pull this up here. Okay. So many of you have seen or at least heard that Denzel Washington is slated to play Hannibal in a movie about that individual, Hannibal. All right. And so they said Denzel Washington casting as Hannibal in Netflix film sparks race controversy in Tunisia. And then it goes on talking about Hannibal and all that stuff. So they're going to have him play this individual here. Okay. Now, for some of you, this is where this whole history thing, you want to know why I stay hard on making sure we get our story right, and why I spent about an hour just today, just finished doing a live where we're just going through and getting things right when it comes to our history. I'm going to tell you why and where this is ultimately leading to and why it's dangerous if we don't do it. There's been a trend, and I've talked about this a lot, that has been going on. You know, we talk about this thing called whitewashing. And as I've said, historically, that has happened. There are instances where you will find artifacts, you know, that depict certain individuals throughout history that were white, or rather that were black, and, you know, and then they may have put some light in the skin or whatever. There's plenty of examples of that. Okay. We're not in any denial of it. But on the flip, what we are seeing today is blackwashing. That's right. We're seeing blackwashing. Now, you may turn your nose up at that and say, well, whoa, wait a minute. Yes, it's blackwashing. And we can thank especially the, you know, AI artwork. AI artwork, there's nothing wrong of it in of itself, but put in the wrong hands, it can push narratives that are just not true at all. And so what you see a lot going on right now are people, internet historians that are retelling stories and now just using that tool to say that, see, they were all black. All these people were black. Everyone was black. Everyone was black. Blackity, blackity, black. Everyone was black in the beginning. Everyone was black. All people were black. It don't matter. We lived in a world one time where everybody was black. Now, do I believe that civilization began in Africa as far as black folks are concerned? I do believe that. Absolutely. I do believe that. But I also believe when you start looking at some of these other countries, they didn't start off as that. And they have a lot of history to support that. But what we have going on today are individuals who are too lazy to open up a history book, too lazy to do research, just basic research, and instead want to pivot to, well, they were all black anyway. And and the problem is you got a lot of our people now that are just taking the lazy route and just wanting to blackwash everything in history. not realizing the repercussions of that. Now, what am I talking about? Now, you know, someone may be listening to this and saying, well, Dwayne, well, the Egyptians, they were originally black. Yes, you have Egyptians that were black, but you also have Egyptians that were not. And when I say Egyptians, I'm talking about those that came in. I'm talking about the Greeks and the Romans and all that came in. They claimed to be Egyptians too. As far as they were concerned, in that time, they considered themselves Egyptians. You may consider them something else, but they claimed themselves to be Egyptians. And so when you go through, actual Egyptian history, if you want to start the conversation there, you can start there if you want, but Egypt wasn't the oldest kingdom in Africa. It was not. There are kingdoms that predated Egypt, but that's a whole nother story. But if you want accurate information, when you look at Egyptian history, you're going to find people that was dark like us, dark like me. They were a little bit lighter than me. Then you had some people, that's when the Greeks and all that came in. You had white folks that came in there as well. That's historically true. And we have to tell the whole story when we're talking about things like that. When you, for example, when you go to I see this a lot on social media. You'll have people making these memes up of Egyptian artwork. And what they'll do is that they'll crop out a small part of an entire a wall painting of all these different figurines and figures and all that on there. And they'll crop out the part that only has the ones that are dark skinned and say, see, these are the original Egyptians. That's what they looked like. I've called out several people just in the last week on that. I said, okay, now here's the whole painting. How do you explain this king? How do you explain this over here? How do you explain this? This is part of the whole painting. Why you just focus on that one part? See, Egypt at that time, I mean, you had people of all colors there. You did. I know you don't want to hear that. I know that doesn't ring your bell, but it's true. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, in early Egyptian history, yes, you're going to find a good hefty percentage of the people who were running that place were dark-skinned people. That's true. But over time, you started having other ones that started coming in as well. And so it's reflected and recorded in all their artwork. But see, you got some dusty, lying behind Negroes out here that want to focus on one part and tell you part of the story instead of telling you the whole story. See, I'm not fazed by the whole story. I know that you had dark-skinned people there. The deeper question is, were they actually my people? Because that was northern Egypt. I mean, northern Africa. When you look at my DNA story or whatever, most of my people came from Central to South Africa and West Africa. That's our, and when you look at those who came, you know, through the transatlantic slave trade, such as a lot of our people, you got a lot of Negroes out here wanting to claim Egypt, but that necessarily ain't your people. It ain't. It's not. See, here's the thing that I want people to understand. See, you can say this narrative all you want, and this is all related to what we're talking about. See, you can say out here full-chested that all the world was black at the beginning. It's all black. Most of the world is black. Okay, take your black behind, go to Calcutta, India, and see how you can just intermingle with the people of India just like that because you black. See how that goes for you. You think you can just blend in with the people in India because they got dark skin? No, they have their own culture. Just like throughout Africa, you got all different types of cultures there. You can't just roll up into a culture that's made up of people who got dark skin and think that just because you got dark skin, they're going to be like, hey, bro, what's up, man? No, they ain't going to do that. They're going to be like, wait a minute, who are you? Your language, it ain't, your mannerisms, it ain't our culture. Now, you need to keep it moving. See, that's the part we miss. We don't focus on. See, it's one thing to look at skin color, but you also got to look at culture as well. It's got to match. Do you understand what I'm saying? And a lot of us wanting just to cling on to everything. If it sound like it's black, we just want to cling on and claim it as our own. You understand what I'm saying? And so where I'm going with this is that, yes, when you go through these different cultures throughout the world, regardless if we're talking about Egypt, regardless if we're talking about Rome, regardless if we're talking about throughout Europe, wherever, yes, there is truth that you're going to find that at a time, maybe for a little bit, I don't know, you are going to find people who had darker skin. That's true to a measure, to a certain measure. But by and large, no, they were, a lot of these people were white. They were white. That's what they were. And so what you're seeing happening now is that Hollywood is now starting to take, is leading the charge with this, and now is wanting to retell all of these stories, these historical stories, and start recasting people from Norway and Sweden and, all these different places that were, they were always white. And now wanting to recast leading characters as all black. They all black, dark black. But see, people who don't read and don't take the time, you just look at that and say, see, that's right. We all were black. It's all, you black and I'm black, and you just jump on it because you just whatever about it. I'm saying this because that's not historically accurate. In many cases, it's not historically accurate at all. They do that because of one reason and one reason only. You want to know why? Is that they're driving people to one thing and one thing only: civil war. Now, just imagine for a second. I know it's hard for some of y'all to do this, but just imagine for a second if you were a white person and you're sitting back and you have your history. You got your history books. You got everything all lined up, right? And you got illustrations, you got artifacts and everything. And then you sit down to watch a movie that you think is going, let's say, for example, they did the movie Braveheart. Now, the movie Braveheart, William Wallace, it was somewhat of a fictional character, but there's some truth to that. But let's say they said, we're going to reshoot Braveheart, but this time we're going to have Idris Elba. He's going to be the, William Wallace. Now, as a Scotsman, someone who's Scottish, looking at that, how you think they're going to take that? How you think they're going to take that? They're watching that. They're going to do a reshooting of Braveheart, and they're going to have Charleston, what's his name? They're going to have, I don't know, name the character. They're going to have the blackest character. They're going to have him playing William Wallace. Or they're going to recast, or they've already done this, like with Lord of the Rings, for example, Lord of the Rings series. They try to do a series on that, and they got black characters all in there. There's another series too that's on it's on Amazon Prime. The story clearly was written with Europeans and the British in mind and all that. It was clearly written for those people, right? And all of a sudden, and then they got talking animals with afros and big lips and big noses. It's like, come on, man, that ain't even us. A lot of this stuff that you see Hollywood doing, this push and trying to inject our people in all of these stories, they're not doing that because they love you, and they're not doing it because they care for you or they're wanting to be historically accurate. They're doing it for the reason to get the reaction that they're getting right now. And that's a lot of anger from a lot of people who rightfully would be angry, just like I would be angry too if they cast it. Let's say they did a movie on Harriet Tubman and then it says starring Julia whatever her name, Julia Roberts, someone like that. They got some white actress or something to play Harriet Tubman, so I'll be mad at that. So just imagine how angry you would feel seeing something like that. Now put it on the flip. Look at, the anger that you're seeing white people all over the place. This is only just one part of it. I'm just talking movies right now. And it's literally like, I can't even watch a movie right now. It's like, okay, this black character, I like seeing black folks and stuff, but this black guy in here, he feels forced. It's like that don't even match. Between that and also like the forced interracial marriages. Oh my God. I mean, what in the world? I can't even pay my power bill. I went to go pay my power bill, right? And you know how they typically, you know, they had like an image, welcome to the power company or whatever. Here, click here to pay your bill. And they had like nice little image of a family or whatever. And they got the white wife and the black husband and the mixed child. Again, for me personally, I don't hate for if that's your choice. That's how your choice for your wife or your spouse. That's you. I ain't mad at you. That's you. You do that. I ain't the third wheel in that. That's y'all. I ain't mad at you. Now, I have my preference, and I've made my choice, so I ain't got no say for anybody else, quite honestly. You know what I mean? You know, but I don't look at people who make those choices like, you know, like that. Now, what I've been experiencing out here, that's a whole nother story, and one day I may do a video on that, but anyway. But no, other than that, I'm not mad. But why are they pushing that? That's what I'm getting at. See, you may have some kind of way, you may feel some kind of way about it. That's one thing. But why are they pushing it? And why are they literally trying to jam it in the faces of these white folks and trying to put, like I said, it's shows and stuff that we ain't even asked for. I don't care about these shows. And neither most black folks don't even care. It'll be it'll be about, I don't know, Doctor Who or something like that. And they say, okay, we're going to make him black. What? And someone may be watching, it's like, well, what's the problem with making them black? Because, you know, if you read the books and all, listen, the fact of the matter is a lot of these shows, a lot of these movies that they're putting out, they are forcefully pushing black folks into places where they know they can get the reaction that they're getting right now from white people. They know exactly what they're doing. And who's they, Dwayne? Who are they talking about? Well, who controls Hollywood? You know, I can't answer that question on this plantation, can I? But I think you and I both know who the answer to that question. All right? But they got a long history of doing this stuff. Agitating. Do you understand what I'm saying? And they're going to keep right on doing this kind of stuff. Let me show you these two stories right quick that that's happening now. And here we go. Claudine Gay, you know, she's the president for now with of Harvard University. I bet they wish she was the president of Howard. But anyway, Harvard University, she's the president, you know, and as you know, on these college campuses, you have individuals who are against Israel when it comes to this whole war situation, right? So you got a lot of people on these campuses that are pro-Palestinian. So that now you got all kinds of protests and things that happen on these college campuses. There are no problems with those things at all, not at all. But the moment people start putting their mouth on Israel, now all of a sudden all hell literally broke loose. Nope, you can't do that. And what these black women are starting to discover, and there's some other ones too, I'll talk about them another time. See, you thought that, well, these white people, they love me. They really love me. They made me president and all this stuff. Oh no, honey. You're going to find out real quick. You're going to find out real quick the limitations of the borrowed power that you think you got. Okay. And so Claudine Gay, she got her wake up call in there. Now, for now, she's still president, but they are pulling out all kinds of stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if they go back when she was first born, you know, and find out that she snatched the wrong bottle. Even at a little age, a young age, she was already stealing. She was a thief. They're going to find any little thing at all. But they've been, and I'm telling you, I read they were renting vehicles that were flashing her name up, talking about she needs to go and all this stuff, all because she has carried the water for this whole narrative that, hey, people should feel free to agree or this, even if it's stuff that you don't agree with, you should feel, okay, fine. But see how far that goes in this society, and it don't go too far, does it? The people you're not allowed to question are the ones that are in control. And she found that out very, very quickly. So they put her in a position where she has become a lightning rod, if you will, for two opposing sides. Right? So that's one case here. And then you got this other story. I don't know if you heard this story. I just heard this story today. This woman here. another black woman. Her name, let's read the story here. Barbara Furlow Smiles, who served as the lead strategist and global head of employee resource group and diversity engagement at Facebook, used the stolen funds to live an extravagant lifestyle that spanned from California to Georgia. Anyway, she basically, I'll just tell you the rest of the story. You know, again, she got too comfortable in her position of diversity, and now it's come out that she stole, according to the report, about a little over $4 million. And what basically she was doing, she didn't just go into a bank and just take it. It was a combination of different things. Like she was, you know, using Facebook, like Facebook. You know, she's in management positions, so she got Facebook cards and somehow was working out ways, according to the report, where she was able to take money off of that and send it to family members and friends and all colleagues and stuff. I'm like, sis, what is you doing? What is you doing? But what I'm saying is this. So the other man sees stories like this and they say, see, it's these people. See what they're doing? You give them a little stuff. This is what this diversity stuff really means. And then they're going to go on that narrative. So they set up people. See, a lot of these sisters that are being put in these positions, and I emphasize sisters because, you know, they ain't putting too many brothers in these positions, which I'm like, y'all better be thankful for that. But they put a lot of these sisters in these positions, and these sisters think that, well, you know, they really like us. They really love me or whatever, not realizing that ultimately you better continue to watch your back. You better Jack Hay. You need to continue to watch your back, because just like Claudine got her wake up call, just like this other sister got her wake up call, listen, they're going to let you know real quick. And I'm telling you, and it's going to evolve. It's going to tumble into a much larger story, which is part of a much bigger narrative that's happening right now. And that is really trying to get one side against the other. In this case here, like it was portrayed in this story, Leave the World Behind, you had a black family that was against a white family. And they're trying everything they can to spark that up any way possible. Why do you really think? I want you to really think about this for a second. I want you to really think about this. Let me say that again. Please think about what I'm about to tell you. Please think about it. Now, I just read today that Biden actually gave another 200 mil, if not more, to Ukraine, right? I mean, by this time, it's like, whatever. These people have been throwing money over that fence for I don't know how long. We've been seeing this for a long time, right? And the legislation was pretty fast. There really wasn't no debating over it, man. They just did it. They said, well, they're in war. Let's throw money over there. No problem. Israel gets into a war. Oh, we got to throw money over there. Hurry up. Let's do it. Very little debate. They just did it. And then it's example after example after example we can point to. Anytime the United States, they want to get something done, they'll print the money. They ain't got it. They'll print it and get it done before you blink your eye. The money's in the account. Okay. Now, I know I'll make some people mad, but I got to tell you the truth. I have to tell you the truth. Now, I've said this many times. I am, when it comes to the actual argument for reparations, I am in 100% agreement. I do not disagree with it at all. I don't. I do believe a debt is owed. But as I've said, as a realist, that the United States, if anything that has been taught to us by this country, is that if you want something, you take it. There's no asking. You take it. And what this country has taught us is that the way you take it is by force. And that's why this country has invested trillions of dollars in military. Okay? United States, there's not any record of the United States going to different countries and staging protests at the border and saying, hey, ho, this leader's got to go or whatever. They're not doing that. No. They're not protesting. They're not holding up banners and saying that down with this country. No, they're not doing that. You know what the United States does? They'll send some bombers and they'll let you know. They'll let you know real quick. That's how they get things done. Now, Black America, or Black Americans, the ones that are demanding for reparations, if you are not operating at that level, you're wasting your time. You really are. I'm trying to tell you. Hey, you may get mad at me. You may not like it. If you're subscribed, you might even unsubscribe. That's fine. But like I said, I'm a realist. I agree with the argument, but the approach itself is very naive. Because this country has already taught you how to obtain what you want. And if you want reparations, you take it. You raise up an army and you take it. That's how it works. And the fact that in 2023, we are still doing now, we have taken the protests off the street and now we digitize it. And now we really think we're better than the people back in the 1960s. You know, we like to talk about those people in the 1950s and 60s that were protesting and crossing their arms and doing the "we shall overcome." We like to criticize them a whole lot. But I'm going to tell you right now, what is you doing? Ain't no different. It's no different. And you really think that they're going to they're just going to be fair and say, you know what, doggone it, I'm tired of looking out this window and seeing all these out there. I'm going to give them their money. What do y'all want? Well, we want, I don't know, a billion, a trillion. I don't know. I just know we owed something. Well, can you tell me what we owed? Sure, $1. Here, take it. I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. That's exactly how that goes down. So you're depending on your oppressor to give you something that's fair. So anyway, all that being said, the reality of this government in the way that this whole reparation movement is moving is going to eventually break down the thought that what you believe, that this government is going to break down and say, you know what? Let's give them what they asking for. They ain't giving you, you know what? They ain't giving you nothing. Not like that. They ain't giving you nothing. Not like that. They're not. You know what this reparations, now this is going to boil your noodle. You know what the reparations movement is really about? And why it's being drawn out the way it's being drawn out? It's not to galvanize black folks and that we get enough people out in the streets, we gonna get our money. No, it's to get white people angry enough to launch into what? Civil war. Right? This is the end game for this. See, you playing chess and they're playing 4D checkers. Sorry. You playing checkers and they're playing 4D chess. Sorry, I meant this. No, you playing Jenga. How about that? You playing Jenga and they're playing 4D chess. So all this time, you listen to all of these different people on social media, gas you up, talking about, oh, look at what they did to this, what's her name down in Texas, the politician. See, they all coming down now because, see, if you ain't going to get with our reparations agenda, then we ain't going to show up for you and all that. See, that's the kind of power we got and all this stuff. That woman was already out. She ain't one trying to do nothing. Think about it. They gave this woman, I can't think of her name right now. Not right now because it's late. This woman is on record of basically not liking black folks get too close to her. On record. And she has a long history. She was named the meanest congresswoman up there. So you're trying to push reparations, a serious reparations argument with the meanest congressperson on the Hill. You really think you're going to get somewhere with that? It's all to think that it's insane. You really thought that? Well, we're going to get some more politicians. Who you going to get? Who ain't bought and paid for? Who you going to get? I'm just saying, what I'm trying to say is this system, as we know it, is designed to do one thing and one thing only, to benefit those who put it together, and you ain't it. They may have used your back and your behind to build some of the foundation of it. Okay, here's your cookie. You want to go around and say, we built the foundation of this country. Okay, here's your cookie. But we taking over from here. Stay in the basement. We run it. We got the top floor. You want to take pride of the fact that you laid the foundation? Okay, fine. Great. Good. Does that make you feel happy? Okay, good. But meanwhile, while you all high-fiving that, we still running things. We got all this stuff here. That's called reality. I don't know any other way I could tell y'all. So you got people out here that are out here to get you all revved up, to get you all gassed up. And there's all these videos out here where they like, well, we show these people, and now we're going to go after the tethers. Now we're going to go after all these black immigrants. You ain't going to go after the white immigrants. You're going to go after the black immigrants. So you got black people against white people. Now you got black Americans against black immigrants and all that. What is that a recipe of? Gumbo? No, it's civil war. It's civil war, family. And this is why I've concluded when I saw this movie, Leaving the World Behind, is that as a people, we ain't ready. When I saw that, when I saw the video, I didn't even need to see the movie to understand, to come to that conclusion. My family and not family and I, some time ago, many of y'all, we've talked about this a great deal. We have a history of, I'm talking about on this platform, trying to bring our people together, trying to do things and say, hey, listen, we need to think forward. We need to come together. Here's some tangible things we need to do to build some type of basic infrastructure so that when things do break out, we have a network that we can set up, that we have in place where people can go get the help that they need. You know, the number one people I was fighting against? Negroes. You know what? Just imagine this movie, right? If all that was happening right now, just imagine all of that. That was happening right now. You know what one of the top debates were at one point? What day the Sabbath is on. See, y'all, I might as well turn the camera on, because see, y'all don't want to hear this. You don't want to hear this. You get mad. You literally got power grids going out. You got people getting sick. You got all this other stuff happening. And the number one conversation that's happening is what day the Sabbath is on. Brother, why are you eating that? You know we ain't supposed to eat that. Are you doing all the law, statutes, and commandments? You know, come on now. It starts at 6 p.m. It don't start on no Saturday. That's the debate that's going on while all hell is literally breaking loose. And then you take it out of that scope, then there's a whole nother layer of stuff that people are fighting over. Our people are fighting against each other on some dumb stuff. Dumb stuff. That's why I said, see, and I talked about this a while back, and many of you have known this a long time. When you look at some of these other groups, when I tell you, you know what they focus on? They're always about survival. They always, because in that movie, they even portrayed that. You had this one white dude, he had his cowboy hat on or whatever. Yeah, he was a redneck looking dude and all this stuff. But guess what? Guess who that house they went to when they needed help? They rolled right up to his house. And a lot of y'all Negroes are going to be in that same situation when all hell start breaking loose. Guess where you're going to go to? All these videos you don't put out here. Yeah, these white people, the ICE people, and you know, they're the heathens, and they ain't going to be us and all this stuff. And then as soon as your power go out, all praise to the Most High, brother. You think you can spare me? He going to be like, chuck. That's all you're going to hear. That's going to be the two words you're going to hear. Chuck and chuck. Chuck. That's all you're going to hear. Sir, you know, as a neighbor, as a follower of the most, chuck. Too late. I saw your videos. I heard all the stuff all the rhetoric that you was putting out there. We the ice people, right? It's sure cold out there, ain't it? Who the ice person now? Who the ice person now? It's cold out there, ain't it? Ain't cold up in here. Who the ice person now? It'd be like 20 degrees out there and you up there trying to... I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know, you have individuals out here, I'm talking about black individuals who do focus on preparation and, you know, importance of prepping and things like that. I'm talking about black folks, but there ain't enough of us. We got too many of our people that focus on entertainment, scaring the hell in you about every little thing that happens. Yeah, as far as I know, yeah. That's 100% of what they do. And then going through how many ways we can reinterpret the Bible. Well, you know, the scripture, it always ends up with us. It's always us. You spend 190 to 100% time focus on that. And you know what these other people are doing? Honey, okay, how many, do I need to go to the store again and get how many cans of such and such? Oh yeah, get another 20 of them. Get another 20 cans of that. Water, you got water? Yep, we got water. The first aid kit, we got all that, right? Okay. And then your cousin that lives in the next state now, he said that we can use his house at any time when, you know, if stuff break up, right? Okay, how about we run a drill? Because I actually talked to him and he said we can run a drill, maybe do like a practice run and go out there and we can practice camping with one another and all this stuff. And then we can figure it out. And he's got some maps and all this stuff. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing right now. You know what? A lot of you go on Twitter, you go on, and not to say that Twitter is a full representation of all black people, because it isn't. But a lot of what I see on social media, you know, the top thing is, oh my goodness, did you see Beyonce? You see she lightening her skin. Oh my goodness. Then there's a whole conversation on that. Oh, did you see, what's his name? He running for his life from his white girlfriend. Did you see that? And P did, you know, all this stuff. I'm going to get my passport. I'm getting up out of here because these black women ain't nothing. You know, all of that. But all the people that you've been saying nothing but stuff about, they've been prepared. That's why I said, family, this is real talk. And what I'm saying right now, when I saw that movie, I finished seeing, at the end of that movie, I said, we ain't ready. A lot of our people are not ready. So what's the solution? Because we're not going to leave it there. The solution is this. It's very simple. You as an individual, I'm talking about black folk. I'm talking to you now. All right, I'm talking to you now. I ain't talking to anybody else. This is something that you're going to have to break out of in your mind. If the vision, the idea that's been put in your mind that somehow all of us is going to be this one big, huge, massive group of black folks. We all going to be together and we all going to watch each other's back. And, you know, you better stop thinking like that. You better stop thinking like that. Your focus should be on building your own small networks of individuals. And that network may be you, your family, a few people in your family, and that's it. Not all these people, these nutcases you see on YouTube. Because I'm going to tell you right now, there's people in here I love. There's people I don't know. I don't know you. I never met you. And if you come to my door and all hell break loose and you're like, hey, I saw you on YouTube. You know what you're going to hear? Do I need to answer? I'm sorry. Because if it gets that crazy out, no way. No, I'm going to answer you like the whinings. No. That's going to be my answer. And that's how you have to think. So you have to take times like this right now where we're just having these old chats like here, and you better stop looking at that as just a movie and look at it more as an instructional video that, hey, I better get myself together. You know what I'm saying? I better get my stuff together. I better make sure I got this, that, or whatever. You know, there was a scene in there. You saw it in the trailer where the guy, he was holding up a satellite phone and trying to get that to work. They done knocked that out too. Because I was thinking about getting a satellite phone too. I saw it in Costco. I was like, oh snap! It was like a limited time thing, but I saw the price. I was like, oh, yeah, I ain't ready for that. But anyway, I said I just have to do without that. But anyway, but yeah. So when they talk about everything can be knocked out, make no mistake about it. And these little things that we're seeing right now, that's happening right now, from the them forcing narratives in these movies. You know, like I said again, you got Negroes out here. We all happy. Look, they done made Prince Charles. They made him black like me. They made him look like me, and that is true. And we up there like just praising it and this, oh, now we finally got representation. They don't care about you. They don't. They're doing it for a reason, and that is to get the other man mad. Just like the whole reparations thing. I'm trying to teach you something. You think that's like, oh, this is a real movement and we get enough black people behind this, we gonna get our money. You ain't getting nothing. It's being prolonged, because the longer it's like that, being drawn out like that, it gets people angrier and angrier and angrier, and it plays very well into getting this whole Civil War situation set up. You thought the Avengers Civil War, you thought that was just a movie. You're like, oh man, I can't wait to see Captain America and Black Panther and all this stuff. You all cheering. You think it was about that? No, they trying to tell you you're behind. There's a civil war they're trying to push us into. So you better know who's with you and who ain't with you. I'm just trying to tell you, you better know it. You better take the time and make sure that you develop your own little networks of people, and keep it small. Because like I said again, you imagining that it's going to be some big old million man march kind of thing. Everybody's going to just start working together overnight like that. You just the dumbest people to think that way. If we out here hunting each other and killing each other and tearing each other down now, what makes you think when all hell break loose, what's going to happen? Why do y'all think, and I'm closing with this, I did a video just the other day. What was it, yesterday? Or day before, one or two. And we're going to start doing these short videos, because we got a ton of videos that I've taken over the years of just peaceful videos of nature, blending some artwork and things like that. It's just some very quiet and peaceful music. That video was only like a minute and a half, something like that. Ain't have nobody. It was a few people saw it in comparison to the other videos, and too many people saw that. But we're going to continue to invest our time here in things like that, because our people need to know the value. Remember, we did a series on, well, not a series, we did a video on the importance scientifically of exposing yourself to quiet and what it does to the brain. When you expose yourself to complete silence, not classical music, but complete silence, your brain actually repairs itself. We talked about that. You can watch that video. So we're investing in things like that. You're going to start seeing more videos on this platform where we're going to be investing in videos where we're just encouraging people to immerse yourself in silence and quiet, not all this drama and nonsense that's out here. Okay. You want to find out, okay, here's another story of how the world is going to end. I mean, you want to keep watching movies and stories like that. That's up to you. But for the rest of us, we need to start focusing on things that's going to keep us in a perpetual state of peace of mind. You know what I'm saying? And also the things that you eat also plays in that as well. A lot of us because we don't have we're not getting all the minerals that we need to have in our foods. A lot of us are mineral deficient. And so we need to make sure we're taking the things we need to take so that we don't have this proclivity to get all emotional when things happen, when the smallest things happen. So we're going to be delving more into that as well. What are the practical things you could be doing now? Because I'm going to tell you right now, because those conversations aren't being had right now, and 100% of the conversations that I'm seeing, at least in amongst our people, it has more to do with, oh, be afraid, or, this is going to happen. It's about to happen. It's about to drop. And, he's about to throw the wrath down. The wrath is about to smack on everybody. It's going to be the ultimate smackdown. He's going to get on everybody, and, and all this stuff. If people focus all their attention on that, but there's not enough talk about the importance of having peace of mind, even when you're in a household that's not peaceful. Anybody ever talk to you about that? How to find peace in a non-peaceful environment in your own house? There are ways you can find peace even in situations like that, but you have to talk about those things. You know what I'm saying? In a very calm way. There are many things you can do. So we're going to be doing more of that. And I know these videos, like those type of videos, they're not, whatever. People may click, may not, don't know, don't care. But I do hope that you do use this time that we have right now to find you some peace. You know what I mean? To carve out times where you're immersing yourself in peace and quiet, because you're going to need it. Because when this stuff does happen, and that's what the direction that they're trying to pull us into, you're going to need to be a person that is decisive in how you think and how you process things. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, it ain't it. If the black community was a military, I would honestly have to say that we're the most unprepared military for what's to come out of all militaries in the world right now. If I had to be honest about that, and I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just trying to be realistic. It doesn't mean it can't change. I'm just saying that that's where we are right now. But you have to, for me, that's where I had to go. I had to stop thinking, oh, I got to get got to get as many people as possible. But then I said, you know what? I'm focused on me and mine right now. You know what I mean? I'll tell people in the way as I'm doing stuff, but I got to focus on me and mine right now. Get myself together health-wise and all of that. That's why you see me. Y'all haven't seen, well, I've been recording some videos. I don't got them yet. Man, when I tell you, now the mountain I showed you on the one video I go on a lot, that's one. This is other one I went on. I'm getting ready to do the whole thing pretty soon. That's some real deal stuff. I mean, it ain't like cliffhanger stuff, but it's pretty intense, and so, but I'm conditioning my body, for if something breaks out, I ain't gonna be just sitting up there thinking. It's gonna be some Negroes thinking you trying to maneuver and navigate through stuff, and you've been sitting on your behind all this time. You think all of a sudden you just gonna pop up and start leaping over mountains? No. You know what I mean? So anyway, we can go on and on about that, but just the importance of getting out every day and walking, getting your heart rate up. And like I said, that's why we've been focused on eliminating high blood pressure and diabetes and stuff like that, because I'm telling you, when people start getting hyped up and revved up and all of that, there's going to be people just falling out completely, heart attacks alone, because of the shock of things that they are at least talking about are coming. That's just it. I wish I could tell you, y'all listen, at the end of the day, and people who are passive will always say this, hey, that's all. Listen, at the end of the day, hey, listen, God's got it all in control, honey. You ain't got to think about none of that. You ain't got to prepare for nothing. All you got to do is stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. And he's just going to come in and do all this stuff. Family, we at war. And yes, we do believe that our Creator will intervene when the time comes. But until then, we got to make sure we're doing our part as well. And if all you're doing is sitting around and just not doing anything, so be it. Because so anyway, I'll just leave it at that, family. That is all that I have for you for this video. I hope you got something out of it. Like I said again, BondTube is a very resourceful page. If I was you, I would check it out in light of what I was just saying. You might find something. All right. So I'm going to leave it there. Can't say it on this platform, but anyway, family, listen, that is all I have for you today. You guys take care. Enjoy yourself for this evening. Come down for a smooth landing and onto that bed as you go to sleep. Don't go to bed with someone getting stories about people getting shot up in the head or some foolishness. Man, just chill. You know what I mean? Find some peace and then go to sleep like that, all right? Love you very much. You guys take care, and I'll see you next time.